Hey everybody, welcome back. Now, before we preface this, there is one step that I did before this because it was, hey, go investigate this body right over here at the doorstep of our order hall. It had a letter. It was an SI7 operative. I believe her name was Amber Hearns or something like that. And she had a letter in her hands, but she also had a dagger in her back. So basically, on her way down here, she apparently got stabbed in the back and basically bled to death out here in the front. So I brought this back, and then they told me to go do an order hall mission. I was like, all right, fine. So I did that. It's completed, and so now the next step is... We need to find out who... Oh, Amber Kiernan. Sorry, I had the name wrong. It was something along that. I couldn't remember. We need to find out who is behind the assassination of Amber Kiernan. It won't be long before SI7 realizes that their agent is MIA and comes sniffing around the Hall of Shadows. Yeah, what he said before when I brought him the letter was that he, reinformed me about Shaw being the head of SI7, the intelligence branch of the Alliance, and we're trying to figure out what's going on with this suspicious activity that SI7 is apparently up to these days. Here, take the stylish spy glasses and set them to scan for traces of hemoglobin. I've taken the liberty of calibrating them specifically for Amber Kiernan's blood. Follow the blood trail back to the culprits, but make sure to stay out of sight. Report back to us when you have gotten the information that we need.
Was that all?
I actually don't need to stealth just yet. After all, I'm in the order hall. But then again, you never know who you can trust, even in the rogue order hall. All right. Milton beats the giver of the beatings. Very appropriate. So let's see. So I have to put these on instead of my headpiece. They look so stylish. Here's her blood. Let me restart the buff on my weapons here. So yeah, she probably tumbled down the stairs here. Yeah. What I want to know is how did she get past the bookcase? Unless she had the insignia. But apparently this guy may not have noticed that she had a dagger in her back.
Hey there. See you later.
Maybe she put it down and he let her in and she just couldn't make it. But yeah, also, Vanessa is going to be my bodyguard. What's funny is she's supposed to actually show up as Vanessa for me. But here she's showing up with the model that other players would see. Now, where exactly... Now this is funny.
Need help?
This guy is actually a demon. You know why? Look at this. He darts his eyes back and forth stiffly. Is there anything I can do for you, Rogue? I have matters to attend to. But yeah, I like that the NPCs are actually commenting on how my shades look. But yeah, if I was either a demon hunter and used my sight, or if I was on my paladin and had Truth Guard, I could expose him. What's funny is that apparently oh, hold on. There's a paladin right there. I'd be like, yo, dude, get Truth Guard out. Okay, here. You can see now, Vanessa actually now has her model. There she is. Okay. But apparently there's no way for me to expose him because, of course, I'm, No, you would not. Okay, where's the... I don't... Okay. upstairs. Why is it always here in the lounge? Why is it always the lounge? Agent Smith and Agent Jones. What is this, the Matrix?
How much longer is this going to take?
These drop boxes are tricky. I've almost got it. Amber Kiernan was one of our own. I still can't believe we had to kill her.
When the orders come from Master Shaw himself, you don't ask questions. You're sure you got her, right? We can't afford to mess this up.
I told you already. I never miss.
We should have killed her back in Citrine Bay. Doing the hit in Dalaran was too risky. We can't afford witnesses.
So yeah, we're not supposed to attack them or anything. All we're supposed to do is just eavesdrop and get the information. Okay, so I can put this back on. What's funny is that apparently if I go to stealth, Vanessa's model changes. You notice that? I guess it's to hide your identity. I mean, that's pretty clever when you think about it from a rogue perspective. I'm like seriously looking around for any Demon Hunter players right now. Like, hey, are there any Demon Hunters around? We can attack this demon over here. Because, like, if we, like, you know, if I was on my Demon, I'd be like, as very typical when it comes to the Dreadlords and such. I'd be like, you know, you can't hide what you are, Demon. And he'd be like, you have found me out. Okay. Lord Ravenholt, I have the information. Now, I already gave this away. That Shaw right now is actually a Dreadlord. Or rather, let me rephrase that. A Dreadlord right now is walking around impersonating Matthias Shaw. Because you heard them say that the order came from Shaw to assassinate Amber Kiernan. Now, you could buy this if perhaps it was found out that Kiernan was actually a traitor somehow. And Shaw thought that there was perhaps no other choice but to go ahead and assassinate Kiernan. But at the same time, it still seems kind of, huh? You know, because it's Shaw, and it's not really something you really expect from Shaw. Not really.
Where others cannot.
Let me get this straight. You are saying that Master Matthias Shaw ordered the death of one of his best agents? This is far more serious than I first thought. We'll need to continue the search for clues. The Burning Legion invades Azeroth, and SI-7 is wasting valuable resources hunting down and assassinating one of their top agents? Something is not adding up here. We need to find out how deep this goes. Why was Amber Kiernan being hunted by her own organization? The encrypted letter that she was carrying may hold the clues. By the way, that's the thing. The letter that she had for us, it's encrypted. And we're trying to, you know, decrypt it to figure out what she was trying to tell us. But we need more information. The SI-7 assassins that you tailed in Dalaran mentioned Citrine Bay. Search Citrine Bay for clues, and we will see about getting this letter decrypted.
All according to plan.
I be knowing Citrine Bay. I be knowing it well. I'll be off ahead in search for clues. I'll wait for you there.
I'll see you there. So yeah, this is one portion of this campaign I really enjoy. We get to go to the bay and just, you know, get to have some fun with Tethys. I really enjoy Tethys, you know, if it's not obvious. And not just because he's voiced by Gideon Emery. Though that is a big factor. I'm sorry, but I do enjoy, you know, spending time with characters who are voiced by some of my absolute favorite voice actors. So, if you're wondering where Citrine Bay is, it's all the way over here in Stormheim. Now, this is...
How may I help?
This is where things get a little interesting, because you'll notice I haven't unlocked anything for Stormheim. So really, in order to actually even have a shot at getting to that spot, because the idea is that you have done some of the some of the questing and such, and then you have more access to other places. Now, if I had flying on this character, it'd be a little easier in that regard.
What can I do for you?
But basically, if I want to have a shot at getting to this spot way over here on this side, one of the things I would have to do is one of two things right now, at the moment, at the top of my head. Either select my next point to be High Mountain, go here, and then go on foot down this way, and then go through Stormheim on foot, which is possible. Or I do the opening portion of Stormheim where we go here with the Alliance and Greymane, and we land there, and that's where I believe the wreckage of the ship is, because Greymane is stupid. I'm sorry. Man. And then go on foot all the way over here. So, because really, without flying, there's really not many other places, methods I can think of off the top of my head in order to actually get to this spot. What would be nice is if it was like, hey, if you want to go straight here, I can arrange for a boat to take you to Citrine Bay, or, something like that. But instead, if we want to go there, what we have to do to continue the campaign is go over here, and then go to the scouting map, and then select one of these areas over here. So I'm probably going to have to go ahead and do this, So what I think I'm going to do, there's a part of me that actually wants to go ahead and show some of this, because I've never shown the Alliance version of the Stormheim quests. But honestly, it's, I mean, I don't think you guys want to hear me talk about, how much it is like this. I've, for the record, I've already done all of the Stormheim questing on Alliance character on my Demon Hunter. So, like, if you've seen the Horde version, which I don't recall if I've ever shown you guys, I've also made it, said that how the Stormheim is my least favorite of the Legion zones here. If you come here as Horde, Nathanos will be here, and he'll be like, I have a letter from Sylvanas. Read it quick. You can read, can't you? Because Nathanos is, well, he's Nathanos. Puh. But for the Alliance, instead here, we have Sky Admiral Rogers.
This is the most powerful ship in the fleet.
Well met. I have come on behalf of King Anduin Rin. My crew is preparing for a special mission, and the King would like you to join us. Please review this official summons, and if you are satisfied, return with me to Stormwind Harbor. So,
Show them what we're made of.
Here's the thing. Rogers is not necessarily here really on behalf of Anduin. She's officially here on behalf of Anduin. Unofficially, what she's really doing here is she's here on behalf of Greymane, who is utilizing this mission by Anduin, because what's really going on here officially is the leaders of both factions know what's going on. And they know about the plan by Khadgar and the others that we are going after the Pillars of Creation. Everyone is aware that we are having to go after very certain specific Titan artifacts. They know about the Aegis of Agrimar in Stormheim. So the faction leaders, when it comes to Stormheim, Sylvanas on the Horde and Anduin on the Alliance, arrange for assistance for you, the player character, on either faction, to get official assistance from the faction to have help in obtaining the Aegis of Agramar, because they are aware of the things about the trials and such. Yes, even the Alliance and Horde are aware of what Odin and the Vrykul have in terms of their traditions to obtain the Aegis. So officially, that is what's going on here. In fact, I think Anduin actually says it in this letter.
Champion, the Skyfire is about to embark on an urgent mission. I must ask that you accompany them. Report to Stormwind Harbor as soon as possible. They are under strict orders not to leave without you. I trust that your valor and discretion will serve the Alliance well, as it always has. With honor, King Anduin Rin.
Follow me. The Skyfire is just about ready to leave.
Yeah. So, Anduin doesn't really say it there, but he knows that you have to go to Stormheim to obtain the Aegis of Agramar as one of the Pillars of Creation. This is why he is authorizing this official assistance to try and, because he understands that we have to get these to help our battle against the Burning Legion. So because of this official order, we are then about to get assistance from a ship called the Skyfire, which is one of the Alliance's gunships, in order to have aid obtain the Aegis in Stormheim. That's the official mission here from the Alliance. What Rogers and Greymane instead do is use this to their own personal advantage to try and fulfill their desire for vengeance. Specifically against, the Horde and Sylvanas, though it's mainly the Horde for Rogers and Sylvanas for Greymane. Because they also know that the Horde is doing the same thing. Going here for two reasons. One, to help the Horde player character, but also because Sylvanas is going after the Lantern from Helia in order to use it against Aer to get more Valkyr under her control. The Alliance is aware of that Sylvanas and the Horde are doing this. So because they know the Horde is on their way with their fleet to do this, they go, what we could actually do. In fact, I'm just gonna let the two of them help explain it, because it becomes kind of obvious in their dialogue here. I'll go ahead and show off some of this. Because I'm sorry, what Greymane, Rogers, and Rogers do here, as well as the forces that follow them here, this is stuff that would warrant them, getting arrested for treason against the Alliance. And in real life terms, a court-martial would be probably the nicest possible outcome here. Whereas in real life terms, if soldiers did this, opposing orders from their commanding officer, this is the kind of thing that could actually get them, shot, but from a firing squad for treason, So I'm just going to let Rogers and Greymane kind of give you an idea of as to what their motivation is here. You must be wondering what all this is about. Well, please walk with me. I have some final preparations to make before we set sail, and I know that your presence will inspire the crew.
Do your duty, soldier. Stormheim is home to one of the Pillars of Creation, the Aegis of Agramar. Vrykul legends speak of a trial. To conquer this trial is to prove one's worth and lay claim to the Aegis. Impressive, aren't they? The new guns could bag a wyvern at full speed from 300 meters. Go ahead, have a look.
Note that she specifically calls out that it would shoot a wyvern, not a fellbat, since we, of course, mainly are focusing on fighting the Burning Legion. No. She doesn't specify a Legion enemy. She says a wyvern. That's one of the first indications right here as to what's really going on here.
Our official orders are to escort you to Stormheim and ensure your success on this trial. Unofficially, however, we have another mission. The 7th Legion, the toughest men and women the Alliance has to offer. They too come on direct orders from the King.
If you're wondering what I was hinting at before with Rogers, well, it has to do with something that happened to her hometown during the time that Garrosh was war chief.
3 days ago, the Forsaken Fleet set sail from Durotar, heading straight for the Broken Isles. We think Sylvanas Windrunner herself may be among them. We are to track them from a safe distance. We may engage, but only if the situation demands. I strongly suspect the situation will demand it.
It had better. I am not in the habit of tracking prey unless I intend on killing it.
Preparations are nearly complete. Please, make yourselves comfortable.
So, yeah, can you see what I'm pointing out here? They are officially told, do not engage the Horde unless the situation demands, as in, only if extreme circumstances demand it. Like, as if the Horde attacks you first, then you can defend yourself. But otherwise, do not go out of your way to actually attack the Horde. That is their official orders here. And yet, Rogers and Greymane are saying, screw that. We are not going there to help you get the Aegis. We are going there specifically to attack the Horde. Even though right now we are at an armistice with them, because we are all fighting the Burning Legion together. The Horde and Alliance right now are not at war at this point. They are at an armistice. They have been, not been at war since the end of Pandaria. They weren't at war throughout Warlords. They worked together to fight the Iron Horde. And we have, the idea is that we were at the Broken Shore working together to fight the Burning Legion, because of course we are. But because of what happened to Varian, they feel like they have extra motivation for this, because they are still under the perception that the Horde betrayed them at the Broken Shore, when that's not true. Now, Rogers' motivation is a little different. Her hometown was destroyed, and, not necessarily just the buildings. I think, if I recall, the people there died too. Courtesy mainly of the Horde when it was under the leadership of Garrosh. Now, of course, as we saw during the time we were, going through Pandaria, the Horde that was loyal to Garrosh was not the real Horde. There was two halves of the Horde during that time. There was the half that was fiercely loyal to Garrosh, aka the Nazis who were loyal to Hitler. And then there was the half of the Horde that did not want to follow Garrosh, and were working with the likes of Thrall, Vol'jin, and Bane to overthrow Garrosh, because they didn't want to follow his absurd, crazy ways. And yet, people like Rogers are an example of characters who don't see the two halves. They only see one whole. They refuse to see the other Horde that had nothing to do with what happened to her home and the innocent civilians. As far as she is concerned, every single member of the Horde is a guilty monster who destroyed her hometown and deserves to be genocided. It's similar to what some other characters have thought in the past, and some still think to this day. Characters like Jaina, and even Varisa. And Greymane, I mean, he's obviously his motivations are specifically about Sylvanas. You know, he has some, may have some gripes against the Horde, but historically he's also had some gripes against the Alliance. But his main motivation is Sylvanas. Now, I hate that Lorna is here. Kudos, I'm glad for her that she ended up becoming a commander after what how we saw her back in the starter zone. And as we quest through Stormheim on Alliance, we do interact with Lorna a lot. And it just kind of bothers me that after what went down between the Greymanes and the Crowleys back in the day, that Lorna is completely cool and fine with what's going to be happening in Stormheim and this entire plan. But then we hear them say things like, I think Lorna at one point in Stormheim, refers to some of the Forsaken as, as filthy monsters or creatures, There will be times we'll hear people like Greymane say, basically doing the Castlevania Symphony of the Night thing, say, "Die, monster, you have no place in this world." I know that's a little different than the actual quote from Castlevania, but you guys get my point. At least I hope you do. I hope I'm not failing at getting my point here. This is one of the big reasons why I have been vehemently, hateful towards Greymane. There was a period of time where almost every time I saw him, I would spit on him. /spit. I do that this day every time I see Sylvanas in the game, but I will say that there were a couple times in BFA he kind of started to seem not as bad. But this right here, this particular portion of the story right here, because the thing is, Greymane is about to go straight to Stormheim and immediately open fire and attack the Horde while they are at Armistice, while they are also on an official mission to aid you get the Pillar creation because we're at war against the Burning Legion. They put their grudge and their desire for vengeance against the Horde above the better of everyone else, because right now there is nothing in this point in time more important than our war against the Burning Legion. And during this time, Greymane and Rogers and this group on this ship said, nope, forget about that. We don't care if the Burning Legion destroys our world, as long as we satisfy our desire for vengeance against Sylvanas and the Horde. Just... yeah.
For country, for family.
Not really, Greymane, because I realize that right now you are really committing an act that Anduin would condemn. But the thing is, I don't think he ever finds out about any of this, and Greymane never answers for what's about to happen in Stormheim. And I don't think Rogers does either. It's like anyone who would know anything about this never informs anyone else here in Stormwind about what happens. The Skyfire is prepared to make way to Stormheim. Should we become engaged, I will require my best fighters on the front line, and this includes you.
We will have just...
So, we head to Stormheim. Oh, hey, look, there's the Horde fleet down there. And the Alliance fired first. Now, I'm sure some will argue that the Horde did something first at the Broken Shore, but as we have seen, that has been proven as a fact to not be true. Let's be honest here, the war in BFA really started right here, when Greymane and the Alliance shot first. I think I'm in a bit of a bugged sequence right here. Hold on a second.
Our curse is also...
Hold on. Skip. Okay. There was a weird phase there.
Any luck contacting the fleet?
It's no use. The weather systems around Stormheim are too strong. I can't get a signal through.
Cease bombardment! Man the deck guns! All hands, prepare for contact with the enemy!
So yeah, Overspark is here. You guys remember him from Gnomergon. Oh, not Gnomergon. The place in BFA with the mechanomes.
First wing, prepare to descend! Second wing, hold position!
Yeah, Mechagon. Sorry. Yeah, remember when I showed you what it was like for the Alliance to make their way over here? This is the guy we interact with who goes there and he thinks that he has the biggest ego and thinks King Mechagon is going to want to speak to him because he thinks he is that important. Yeah, you can see some of the people that are here. And again, I hate Lorna's here because I like Lorna. But, man, she does not make herself look good in this regard. Shut up, Rogers. And you can see she's immediately saying things like this.
Prepare for contact with the enemy!
Immediately labeling the Horde as the enemy when we are, mind you, not at war. We are working, we are at armistice with each other because we are trying to survive an invasion by the Burning Legion. So yeah, this is a cool scenario, and it's kind of interesting to do it from both perspectives. And also the initial questing that happens. By the way, what's funny about this... You know the questing that happens here in Stormheim involving the blue dragons? Not those dragons. The storm drakes, the storm ones. Yeah. The one we interact with, the Horde the Alliance actually fights him when we initially go through this mission here. So
prepare for contact with the enemy.
All right. I'm going to go through this mission and we'll continue this when I actually can get to the place where Tethys is just kind of waiting for me.
Second wing, hold position.